I would like to acknowledge that this video is being filmed on the traditional lands of the Wurrundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to their elders past and present, and extend that respect to any Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander or First Nations people who may be watching this video today. Hi everyone, welcome to another reading vlog. This time I am back with another Bree Chooses My TBR video. So some of you may remember last year when Bree and I gave each other some books to read and we filmed matching videos where she read the books that I picked for her and I read the ones that she picked for me, and it was honestly a lot of fun because last year was the year I think that Bree and I really started to get to know one another, and now she's one of my absolute best friends despite the fact that she lives so far away, or I live so far away. It's really sad. We decided that we wanted to do another one because we had so much fun with it last year. So she has given me a list of books to pick from. So this time around, rather than just trying to pick 3 or 4 books, we gave each other a list and, you know, we can decide which ones we want to read from it and how many we want to read for this vlog. I'm on holidays. I might try and read all of them because I might be able to do 1 or 2 in a day because I literally have no other plans for the holiday break because all I want to do is read and sleep. Those are like my 2 priorities for the holidays. But I gave her probably more books than she gave me, so hopefully she finds some in there that she's interested in reading. I had recommended Burn For Me by Alona Andrews, Smash and Grab by Maz Maddox, Soul Eater by Lily Mayne, Unhinged by Onley James. I did recommend either Caroline's Heart or Peter Darling by Austen Chant, as well as The Bones Beneath My Skin or Wolf Song by TJ Klune if she wanted to try one of those, Deceived by the Gargoyles by Lillian Lark, That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming, and Don't Hex and Drive by Julia Cross. The Julia Cross one was because in the first reading vlog I recommended Wolf Gone Wild, so if she wants something that she knows that she's probably going to enjoy, I wanted to include that one in there. Anyway, I'm interested to see which one she picks. I tried to find as many that had audio as possible because I know she likes audiobooks. There's only 1 or 2 on there that didn't have audiobooks. I'm very excited to see what she picks. But as for the books that she picked for me, I'm just bringing them up on the computer. A couple of these she recommended to me in our last live show when we were updating our book journals because I'd been talking about some books for her and she was recommending some to me. So she recommended Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly, which is a contemporary romance, Butterfly Swords by Jeannie Lynn, which is a historical, Mr. Librarian by B. Love, which I've actually had on my TBR for a little while, so I'm excited to get to it. In fact, a lot of these have been on my TBR, so good job, Bree. Sweet Berries by Sam Nascosta, A Taste of Her Own Medicine by Tasha L. Harrison. So she gave me a far more manageable list than I gave her, but I did say, you know, just pick whatever you feel like reading. Anyway, this is the first day of the school holidays. I literally finished filming a day in the life vlog for my members yesterday at midnight, and so I'm starting this one. I'm also currently in the middle of rereading Heart of Obsidian by Nalini Singh, which is book 12 in the Sight Changeling series. I'm buddy reading with Izzy, so I figured the way that I would film this vlog is just whenever I pick up one of the books that Bree recommended me over the next week or so that I will vlog it. So this may not be consecutive days because I might be reading other things in between. I wanted to do this intro now because I'm about to get into some video editing for the upcoming week. And then I think tonight I'm going to try and read Sweet Berries by Sam Nascosta because I've been meaning to read it for ages. I pre-ordered it, so I've had it since it came out. I just haven't picked it up yet. That means I will check in with you guys later. Oh hey, I just started Sweet Berries and I'm like 3 pages in, and one of the quotes is just totally me. This quote about feeling totally out of place in bars is 100% me. I hate going out. I feel incredibly awkward in all of these places. So I feel seen. This is great. I am just over 40% of the way through Sweet Berries and it is so cute. We have Grace, who is a human who is working at a farm in Canberra Creek. Oh my gosh, a tongue twister. Anyway, she works there. She's an event planner. We find out that she has previously been married. She was married to a minotaur and it was not a good relationship. It was very emotionally abusive, and so she got out, and she keeps to herself and doesn't really like to go out. And then she has a moment of exhibitionism in her bedroom facing a window with the blind up, and she realizes that someone's watching her. She can't see who it is and they don't reveal themselves, but she enjoys the experience. And then it's repeated again a couple of days later. But then she meets Merrick, who is the Mothman, and he is the sweetest, most adorable dork of a cinnamon roll hero ever, and I'm very excited to see where this goes. That was so cute. Grace and Merrick are adorable. It's a monster romance, so there's some very interesting body parts going on in here. Seamless Costa, I think, is just doing some really interesting things with the genre, and I deeply appreciate it because it's a paranormal romance that's kind of like a small town cozy thing. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just sweet. I would like to read more. Hi everyone. So it is now Sunday. So I think I was reading yesterday. So I'm reading the next book that Bree picked for me. I'm reading Mr. Librarian by B. Love. I've only just started. It's quite short, so I'm 20% of the way in, and I'm enjoying it so far. It is about Honey, who is in book restoration, or she does that as a job, and I think she's also studying at the moment from what I've gathered. And she meets Khalil, who is a librarian, when at an event that is being hosted at his library. She's restored a very old, very expensive book for someone who then loses it at her because it's so old and they were stingy and wouldn't pay for a second copy so that she could restore all the pages and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, Khalil steps in for her and gets her at least some of the money back. She then later decides to go back and visit and see him and see if she can find him. In this one, Honey has a really bad relationship with her father because he treats her mother terribly, and she sees that and she doesn't like it. So there is that in this story. And Khalil's father died in some kind of bombing incident, and Khalil feels a lot of guilt towards that. So those are sort of the things that I've picked up on so far. I was very distracted today. I have read a little bit of Heart of Obsidian. I read both the Never King and the Dark One after some peer pressure on members' sprints on Izzy's channel. Yeah, here I am. I've basically done nothing but read today, which is great because that's what the holidays are for. So I'm going to keep reading and see where I end up. And yes, I'm in my hoodie because it's freezing, and this is now my new favorite thing ever. All right, so I finished Mr. Librarian and I enjoyed it. It's probably not my favorite thing ever, but I did enjoy the story, and I possibly got a little bit distracted towards the end with the book plot thingy missing. Oh god, words. It's really late here. I'm really tired. But yes, I enjoyed it. I liked Honey and Khalil's relationship. I liked that he was so patient with her because she is trying to work through her distrust of men because of a previous relationship and attempted assault situation that happened in her past. And Khalil also has to open up about his past and some of his less than legal dealings in the past. And they both kind of got through it, and I liked that it took time. But given that this is a novella length, like it's only about 154 pages, there's quite a few time jumps because there's one part where they're apart for a month. It was a good story and I would be interested in reading more from B. Love. But now I'm going to go to bed, and I will check in the next time I pick up a book from Bree's list. Miracle of miracles, I've moved things around in the kitchen now, so if I happen to be working in the kitchen, I have somewhere to put my camera. It's the weird little things that make my life easier. Anyway, I've just gotten home from PT and I have had a shower. I'm going to be heating up some leftovers for dinner, and then I'm going to be jumping into Tasha L. Harrison's A Taste of Her Own Medicine, I think is what it's called. It's one of the books that Bree talked about most recently in her collab with Izzy and Tamika on books that she just couldn't put down. So I'm very excited to dive into it because I've heard lots of great things about the series. So fingers crossed. Anyway, I'm going to heat up dinner, then I'll be back to talk to you about the book. Yes, I'm here again in my hoodie. Expect this to be a regular feature for the foreseeable future while it's freezing cold here because I don't want to turn the heater on. I have just started A Taste of Her Own Medicine. I'm just under 10% of the way into the book. So far it is a small town age gap romance with an older woman, which I always appreciate. And I love the meet cute of these two characters because she is a student in an entrepreneurial business class that the hero is facilitating, and their meeting is hilarious. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm going to keep reading. Okay, so I'm checking in. I am like 70% of the way through the book, but I had to stop because Sonia and Atlas, they're the two characters. I don't think I mentioned their names earlier. They've just had their first sleepover. They were making breakfast together, and in her previous marriage, Sonia was basically the only person who cooked in the house. Atlas tells her, oh no, you can make the bacon and the coffee, but I'm making eggs because I'm very he has a very specific way that he makes eggs, and he references Sir Ian McKellen making eggs on YouTube. So I had to stop and watch Sir Ian McKellen making scrambled eggs on YouTube, and it's delightful. And I might have to try that recipe. I like scrambled eggs. Yes, I just thought that was really fun to just stop and watch that video. A+ choice, Bree. Taste of Her Own Medicine was fantastic, and I loved that the conflict in here was, you know, it felt realistic because Sonia and Atlas's relationship is not without its complications, and I loved the way that there was a really great family dynamic between all of the characters, and I loved Sonia's kids. She has a 13-year-old and a son going off to college, and it was just like the dynamic between all of them was fantastic. So I'm very, very pleased that I read that, and I will continue the series once I've finished this vlog, more than likely. But for now, it is only, what time is it? I don't even know. 9:30. So I'm going to maybe read Heart of Obsidian for another hour. I'm still annotating it. I'll show you guys in a minute. And then I'm probably going to go to bed. So I will check in the next time I have a book that I'm reading from Bree's list. Hi everyone. So I'm about to start reading the next book for this vlog. That is Butterfly Swords by Jeannie Lin, which is a historical romance, maybe set in historical China, so during the Tang Dynasty. I am going to be reading during the day because I can't be bothered doing anything else, even though my to-do list is ginormous. So yeah, you're getting me not in my Udi. Then maybe do some of the jobs that I need to do for the rest of the day. I'm very excited to read this. I know Bree has spoken really highly about it, so let's see what it's about. I'm about 13% of the way in. This is the story of Princess Ai Li, who is on her way to marry, and as she is in the carriage heading to her betrothed's place for the wedding, there is a huge fight, and she is told by her bodyguards to escape and to flee. And then we cut to the hero's perspective, Ryan, and he is white. He's considered a barbarian in the land. He is turned away from most villagers, is basically the lowest of the low, but he happens to oversee Ai Li as she is in a tavern getting food. She's dressed as a man in disguise, and she spots him and gives him her food because she notices that he's hungry. And after he eats it, they've sort of parted ways, but he realizes that he has been drugged and that it was her food that was drugged and that it was meant for her. So he goes back and finds her in the middle of a fight, and he fights for her despite the fact that he is impaired. And yes, so far really interesting. I'm liking both characters, I'm liking the story. Just gonna keep reading. So I finished Butterfly Swords, and that was really good. It was nice to have a historical that had so many fighting sequences, because you know that's kind of what I like. But anyway, Ai Li and Ryan basically, like, they get back to the Imperial Palace because, you know, she's a princess. About 50% of the book I'm like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Like, what is the conflict gonna be? And they go on the run again. I love it when they're on the run. Anyway, great pick. I need to go find some lunch now, so I will check in with you when I'm up to my next book. Good morning everyone, happy Thursday. I am leaving my apartment. Like, this is like the first time that I've gone somewhere that is not work or the grocery store for ages, but I am heading into the city. I've got to go and spend a couple of book vouchers. Like, that's a hardship. And I also, first thing this morning, because it's just on 8:20 a.m, I want to go to the Botanical Gardens and maybe past the Shrine of Remembrance as well. So if I get any footage, I will share it with you. But I'm also going to be starting Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly on the train trip into the city. This is going to be another part of the reading vlog, so I will show you what I get up to today.
I'm back from the city, so you would have seen clips from the Botanical Gardens, the Shrine of Remembrance. I did a trip to Dymocks, which is the biggest, or one of the biggest bookstores in Melbourne, and I also went to the new reading store at Emporium because I haven't been there yet, and I had vouchers and things like that. So I'm going to show you what I picked up because I pretty much bought picture books wherever I went. But I did get some mail, so I picked this up on the way in, so I might as well open it with you guys, or maybe not because I'm going to need scissors. Okay, so it's Larrikin House, which is, I reviewed a book recently for Larrikin House. Oh, awesome. Okay, so this is My Extraordinary Mum by Danny V and illustrated by Alexandra Colombo. So this was a book that I reviewed an e-arc of, and this must be the finished copy. Oh, that's so exciting. All right, so now I have a finished copy of the books. So thank you very much to Danny V and Larrikin House because I loved this book. It's gorgeous. I knew that I was going to be buying books at Dymocks and readings, so I took my Hello Lovely bag buying books like I'm immortal, which turned out to be fitting, but I also ended up with some paper bags as well. I'm extra like that when I go shopping. I've not been into a physical bookstore in months. So let's start off with the Botanical Gardens and the Shrine of Remembrance first. I can't remember the last time I went to the Royal Botanical Gardens in Melbourne. Like, it's literally been years and years and years, probably decades since I've actually been there. Anyway, at the moment they've got this light show happening at night time, which I'd really like to go and see, where they're actually lighting it up. But it was really cool. So you guys would have seen me walking around the main grounds and then following some little path, like they have a main path, but then they have little offset pathways where you can go through, and they've recreated aspects of various forests that you might find in Australia. Although I did find out that we are, after Antarctica, we have the least amount of forest, native forest land, which I didn't realize, so that was cool. And I mostly wanted to go and see Guilfoyle's volcano, which was that big lake that I walked around.
and that is basically a reservoir of water. It's not a real volcano, but it was designed, I think, as a way of recycling water through the botanical gardens. And now it's all grown and it has plants everywhere and it's beautiful, but it was a really nice spot and had a great view back of Melbourne City. I always go into gift shops everywhere because I cannot help myself. And I wish I'd kind of gone in there first because they had these 2 Nature Seek and Find, which are cool for kids. So I grabbed 2 of them. They were just free, and I'm actually going to take them into work. And I picked up 2 picture books there because they were books that I hadn't seen anywhere else, and why not, because the kids will love them. So there is this one, which is Looking After Country with Fire, and this one has Aboriginal burning knowledge with Uncle Koo. Burn offs is something that has to happen in Australia because it's that dry. But I thought this would be really interesting to add to my Aboriginal picture book collection because I don't have anything on this topic. And then this one is not Australian, despite it being Australian in the title, but The Very Hungry Caterpillar's Australian Feast. Now, we use The Very Hungry Caterpillar all the time at school, but this one has Aussie foods and things that the kids will recognise, like fairy bread and all sorts of snacks and things that we have here. I might even have lamingtons in it. But it's a lift the flap book, and you can see what's behind all the flaps. So I thought that was super cute and would be a good one to add to the classroom. All right, so then I went to the Shrine of Remembrance, and I try and go there fairly regularly because it's just a beautiful, beautiful, peaceful spot in Melbourne. It's literally 3 tram stops from the centre of the city, but you wouldn't know it. You can see it, you have a beautiful view, you guys would have seen the view, but it doesn't feel like you're in the middle of the city. There is the shrine, which you can walk around the whole outside and beautiful grounds. You can go inside. They've got a exhibit space in the crypt, so underground, that literally you walk through a history of Australia's involvement in wartime and peacekeeping events throughout Australia's history. It's really well set up. I didn't spend too much time down there today. I sort of just looked around some of the more recent exhibits. I mostly just wanted to go and walk around the grounds and go into the sanctuary and go up onto the balcony and just have a look. And that was like, it's right next to the Botanical Gardens, so I had to walk past it to go to the Botanical Gardens and then come back. So it was really lovely. They also have a really beautiful gift shop in there, and all of the proceeds go back into the Shrine of Remembrance. So I got a poppy scarf that I can wear for Anzac Day and Remembrance Day, and also I finally bought myself a copy of Anzac Ted, which is a beautiful, beautiful picture book. And they had this, like, I got the black and red one, but they had it in all different colors and they're all gorgeous, and I didn't know which one to pick. And then I went to Dimmicks and this happened. I actually tried to take a couple of clips in there because the romance section really surprised me this time, because normally it's pretty bare or pretty sparse on authors, but obviously the TikTok boom has done wonders for stocking the romance section, which is still tiny, but you know, is doing better than it's ever done in that in that store. I did pick up another kids book, this one because it was on special for $12.99. It is Pig the Rebel, Pig the Pug by Aaron Blabey is a series here. My kids love the books. This must be the newest one. I also picked up 2 romance books that I have read, and it's fitting that these are in a vlog that features books Bree's picked for me, because Bree and I both read Something Fabulous by Alexis Hall. I didn't have a copy of it. I saw it there and I grabbed it because of course I did. Also found a copy of Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. Now this has to be because it's featured somewhere in social media or on TikTok or something like that, because I'm not quite sure why this would be on the shelves here, because it's not a new book at all, but I loved this. Bree was the one who got me onto this book. I saw it there and I thought, well, that's fitting. It's really fitting that I found it today while I was vlogging something in collaboration with her. So I did pick up a copy of it because I do want to reread it, and this one would be a good one to annotate. And then 2 books that I haven't read, both are sci-fi books. So I don't know if my TBR video will be up already by the time this goes out. Hopefully it will. But I ended up finding the 3rd book in the Thrawn Ascendancy series. This one is Less Evil. It's the next one to the book that I'm supposed to be reading this month. So this is massive. I don't know why it's this big. It's over 540 pages long. So maybe this would just be a back-to-back reading Star Wars books. But I did finish Kenobi last night, and the thing that I was concerned about was that I was going to be Star Wars obsessed after watching Kenobi, and I'm borderline at the moment. So I'm just going to add this to my to-be read sometime soon. And I caved and just got the giant version of Leviathan Falls by James S. A. Corey, because I'm also trying to finish off The Expanse season 6, because I've been putting it off, because if I put it off it hasn't ended yet, but I just need to watch it. It's only 6 episodes long. I'm 1 episode in, but when I've finished that, I do actually want to finish the series, because I love this sci-fi series. I love the TV show, I love the books, and I am kind of really tempted to do a book to TV / movie adaptation books or series that I love type video, that would be on there. And then finally is my readings collection, and this is pretty much all kids books plus one other random item. So my random item is an umbrella, but apparently this umbrella, it starts out with black and white raindrops, but as it gets wet it changes color, and I need a new fold up umbrella. This one's probably a little bit bigger than I wanted, but it's honestly so cool that I could not leave it there. So that's what it looks like. Apparently these white dots change color when they get wet, so that's cool. And now I can replace my old umbrella that I've had, you know, for about 10 years. And then finally I got some books. So this one is Maybe by Kobe Yamada, and then there was this one that I saw, Solway, and it's by Lupita Nyong'o, and she's the actress who was in Black Panther. I'm pretty sure that's who it was. I also found a copy of Franklin and Luna and the Book of Fairy Tales by Jen Campbell. Now I couldn't remember if I actually had this one, but it wasn't too expensive, so I just grabbed it anyway because I've been reading these books with the kids and they really enjoyed them. If I do have doubles, then this one will go on the kids bookshelf and I'll keep a copy for my teacher mentor text shelves. I also bought a copy of We Found a Hat by John Klassen, and I also got I Want My Hat Back by John Klassen because I think they'll enjoy it since it's, you know, same author illustrator. This is why I don't leave my apartment. I did start Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly, which I'm really enjoying. I have to admit I am kind of getting some small bouts of anxiety reading about them because both the main characters, Dahlia and London, are anxious little beans, and their anxiety is giving me anxiety because they are on a cooking show, and I don't know, that just heightens my sense of anxiety. But they are very cute. London is non-binary and Dahlia has just gotten out of a divorce, and they meet on the set of this reality TV cooking show. They don't necessarily get off to the greatest start. Dahlia is very cheerful and upbeat. London is grumpy. But, you know, they slowly begin to thaw to Dahlia, and reality TV show books make me anxious anyway, because I don't like reality TV. But I do like Anita Kelly's writing and I'm loving the characters, so I'm very, very eager to see where it goes. And my favourite scene is where London convinces Dahlia to crash a wedding. Alright, so I just finished Love and Other Disasters and it was adorable and delightful. And so anxiety inducing, which is always the sign of a good book because, you know, it has some kind of emotional impact that I feel something for these characters, because I could not be on a reality TV show. That sounds like the worst thing possible because I am not good under pressure. Kudos to London and Dahlia for doing as well as they did. And, you know, it also made me very hungry because they were constantly talking about food. Even though I hate cooking and I have to cook dinner now, I don't know what I want. So that also spiked some anxiety. But, you know, the book itself was fantastic. Anita Kelly is an awesome writer. So I'd really, really highly recommend checking out their books. But I loved how London's non-binary identity was handled in this book, and how they dealt with both people who were 100% backing them and also the people closest to them who are not supportive and who intentionally misgender them, and, you know, the impact that has on their life. And same thing with Dahlia, who has had her entire life change. She's jumped into this show after a massive change in her life and she doesn't know what she wants to do yet. And she thinks that she has to be big and brave, and she doesn't realize that she's already big and brave. And like the two of them together are just, they're perfect. A fun fact that I learnt in here is apparently in the US, you have a lot of passion fruit flavored things, but eating an actual passion fruit from the fruit itself is not a big thing. Please feel free to correct me in the comments. But that was a comment that was made in the book, that, you know, the passion fruit was one of the interesting food elements. And I find that so strange because I've been eating passion fruit from the fruit for my entire life, and we don't have a lot of things that are just passion fruit flavored. Like, if you're going to have passion fruit, you're going to have the actual fruit. Since that was mentioned in the book, I can't get it out of my head. And I know that there are a lot of foods and fruits and veggies and things around the world that, you know, are only eaten in particular places in the world. I know that. Passion fruit had never entered my mind, and now it's stuck in there. So anyway, moving on. So thanks for that book pick, Bree, because I loved it a lot. Surprisingly emotional read. Like, I wasn't crying, but just lots of thoughts, lots of feelings around it. Hi everyone, so I'm here to wrap up the vlog with Bree. I was editing and I hadn't actually filmed an outro, so you get it with my new hair, which won't appear in videos for a little while. But yes, I finished the books that Bree set for me. I was really, really happy with all of them. You'll have heard me talk about them throughout the video. And it was honestly just a delightful time. And I'm so excited that I get to do another one of these vlogs with her. So I think my favorite reads from this vlog were Love and Other Disasters and Sweet Berries, just because I love both authors and I'm really familiar with their writing, but I was so excited to try some other books and other authors in this vlog. So thank you very much, Bree, for picking all of them. All of the links for Bree's channel, for her vlog, and for all of the books, etc. are down below. So if you are interested in checking them out, you can. Sorry for the lighting in the background. I am filming in a very awkward spot, and yeah, this is why I don't film in front of my bookshelves ever. I would love to hear if you have read any of these books or if you are planning on picking any of them up. Stay tuned, Bree and I will probably be continuing to buddy read Alexis Hall's books, so you will hear and see plenty of collaborations from us around that and talking about those in our other videos as well in the future. I hope that wherever you are in the world you are staying safe and well, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.